Hello, it's this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream. And this stream I'm going to be going over the event week for this week, which was from very early Thursday from last week in Grand Theft Online, and there's a couple more days for the event week remaining. But yeah, going to title the new vehicle edition, which was apparent from last week with one of the test rides, obviously, was the Pfister Growler. And yeah, I decided this time to start in the casino, why not? Podium vehicles, the Vito Modern. More details on that later on, of course. But yeah, Pfister Growler is the main vehicle edition. The upcoming vehicle for next week, though, later this week, will be the Sultan Rs Classic, apparently, which is pretty cool. Be able to test for the current event week, though I think it's stock. I don't think those ones in the test track have the engine upgrades from what I've heard. And then there's also 2x RP on Kart Crash, and then the exotic exports for some newest content editions, which is pretty nice. Kart Crash being a new mode with this event week. Again, more details later. Alright, 20,000 apparently. But yeah, now how to go into the podium vehicle. This podium vehicle is actually from the previous update, the Cayo Perico Heist. And it's $5,000. So technically, assuming I think it does have delivery, so if you keep delivery, you might save another 20,000. So if you keep delivery, if it has any, of course, which I'm pretty sure it does, you should save a little over $1 million if you keep that delivery. But regardless, around $1 million savings, not that bad, obviously. In terms of monetary value, nowhere near the worst, I'd say, that's been on the podium in the past. However, it's kind of hard to say how useful this vehicle is going to be. Reason being is you can't really use it in regular sport class like races. It's a non-raceable vehicle apparently for the sports class. Similar in style to the non-raceable Paragon R Armored, and then the ZR380, those have weapons and armored. Yeah, those have weapons on it for the Paragon R Armored, and then ZR380. Or there's options at least to have the weapons technically. So it's kind of weird that this isn't raceable considering there's really no weapons on it normally. But yeah, for some reason it's not raceable. But even if it were raceable, it's not really that good anyways. So yeah, like I said, it's kind of hard unfortunately to really put in perspective how useful this vehicle actually would be. But yeah, Vito Modern has the second worst lap time apparently out of all the sport class vehicles. And I imagine that doesn't change as well with the new tuner sport cars. I doubt any of them obviously perform any worse than a go-kart obviously. So I imagine this is still the second worst vehicle in the entire sport class for lap time. The only one below it obviously would be the would be the Vito Classic, not the Modern. And then this is actually the way worst for top speed for the sport class, whereas the Classic in terms of top speed is a single placement above it. So it has the second worst lap time, and it has the very worst top speed of the sport class, which is what you would expect from a go-kart, to be fair, and also being in the sport class and whatnot. See, unfortunately, it's really hard to put into perspective how useful the vehicle is, especially with the new Kart Crash mode that's out now. As far as I know, so far I don't really know if you can use custom versions or not, so if it could be used a custom version if you can actually use a custom version in the Kart Crash modes, then perhaps it has some use in the game now with this event week. But before that, it wasn't really that good. By the way, I know with the Vito Classic, I think you can actually tank a, like, explosive for some weird reason. I'm not sure if that's the same thing with the Vito Modern, though. But if that's the case, then I guess that has the slightest bit of defensive capabilities, even though you're practically gonna be killed anyways, because it's not enclosed or anything. So if it does have weird explosive resistance, when it probably shouldn't necessarily have explosive resistance, then wouldn't be that useful anyways. But yeah, I think the Vito Classic I remember has explosive resistance. I'm not too sure about the Vito Modern though. And by the way, there was also a couple previews on some discounts, obviously. But yeah, premium race for the week is Crossing Paths for the Sport Classic class. Crossing Paths seems to kind of take place around Grove Street and stuff, I want to say, and yeah, most races are lap time, and this definitely looks like a lap time race to me, so I'm definitely going to just go over the number one option for a lap time, since Cowprico Heist has pretty much remained a very good money opportunity, so might as well just go over the number one option for the lap time section for Sport Classic class. And by the way, credit for any lap times and top speeds I go over goes to Bruffy1322. That's where I get my lap time and top speeds from his spreadsheet that I use on these live streams and whatnot. That I browse on my phone while I'm doing them and whatnot. But yeah. If you want the number one lap time option for the Sport Classic class, which I would definitely assume lap time would be the one to go for, because obviously most races you want lap time over top speed, which that's for like straights, pure straights for the most part, like highways and stuff like that. But yeah, the Turismo Classic is apparently the number one option for lap time for the Sport Classic class. So if you want the number one option, definitely go to Turismo Classic. And that one you could probably literally get in a whole entire Cowprico Heist. If you get a very good Cowprico Heist, you could probably literally do just one Cowprico Heist, and you could probably get a modified Turismo Classic with the stock vehicle, and then obviously any like engine upgrades that like actually matter and whatnot. Now to go into the regular time trial. Regular time trial for the week is Maze Bank Arena, which I would just goes to, oh yeah, it says it goes to like a theater. And I believe the theater is like over here, kind of. If not, then maybe it goes kind of, actually I think it goes here, I think that's where it goes if I remember. So there is kind of a good bit of straight on this one, so you could probably be pretty good with a top speed option for the most part. But again, there are those turns and stuff, so I might go over both lap time and top speed number one options for super class and whatnot. Alright. So I'll start with supercars, since if you're not going to use like a motorcycle, you're probably going to end up using a supercar. And remember, you can't use like rocket boosted stuff anymore like you could for certain vehicles back before the payouts were doubled to like 100,000. That's been a thing like for the last couple years. You can't use any of those like specialty kind of vehicles anymore. But yeah. Number one lap time option for the supercar class going over Bruffy1322 spreadsheet is the Proton Emirates, which is $2.7 to $2.9 million. If I recall, for the stock vehicle, and which engine upgrades probably gets to like 3 to 3.5 million, so probably a low to mid 3 mil range. Let's say for the Proton Emirates, which is the number one lap time option for the supercar class. Top speed for the supercar class. Number one is the Pfister 811, which I remember that one being $1,135,000 for a stock vehicle, so with like engine upgrades and stuff, probably mid to high 1 mil range, I'd say, for the Pfister 811. And like I mentioned, I kind of showed off the path. There's like a dirt road, I think, somewhere around here you could take for a little shortcut. And then, for the most part, it kind of goes on this path and whatnot, so there is a good bit of straight compared to other time trials for sure. So that's why I'm also going over top speed. But yeah. Number one top speed vehicle, like I mentioned, Pfister 811 apparently, which is $1,135,000 with upgrades should probably be like mid to high 1 mil range. Prices I remember myself kind of, but for the performance, obviously I get that all from roughly 1322. And then going into the motorcycle class, I'll go for number one lap time, top speed, and then probably the best average motorcycle maybe, so I might go over a couple motorcycle options. But yeah, if you want the number one lap time option for the motorcycle class, it will be the Kosaka Submarine, which is $2.3 million. Kosaka Submarine, by the way, I believe it's a vehicle you have to actually unlock from the, like, Deadline Adversary mode. I think you have to actually play the Deadline Adversary mode to be able to unlock the Kosaka Submarine for purchase for free mode. So for some reason you can't find the Kosaka Submarine on the Trade Motorsport website, and that's why you haven't played Deadline most likely. And it is pretty worth it for the number one lap time option for motorcycle class, because most races obviously are lap time, and if you were to do any motorcycle races. By the way, Kosaka Submarine will be going forward or backwards with stick for the best possible speed, because most motorcycles you have to go backward with stick as if you're doing a wheelie, and then there's a couple I think you have to do forward as if you're doing like a stoppy kind of. But yeah, going to number one top speed now for the motorcycle class. Number one option for motorcycle class apparently is the Manchester Scout, which is like 200,000 I believe for a stock vehicle with engine upgrades, probably like 500, 750,000 around there at most. And yeah, Kosaka Submarine probably like mid to high 2 mil. But if you want number one top speed, it's only like 500 to like 750,000, I'm pretty sure. Like I said, Manchester Scout for putting engine upgrades into account and whatnot. And going back to vehicles, I mentioned the Progen Emirates is from Diamond Resorts. That's like a couple years old. Pfister 811 I mentioned earlier, that's like mid 2016, so that's quite the ways down on Dream Motorsport. Kosaka Submarine is like another 2016 vehicle, so that one's quite a ways down on Dream Motorsport as well. And Manchester Scouts from the previous updates, that one's pretty recent on the Woodstock website. And Manchester Scout, by the way, you have to lean backwards with stick as you do with like 95% motorcycles from what I recall if you want the best possible speed. And then finally the best vehicle for like any time trial period in my opinion, and then the best average time trial vehicle and whatnot, which places number 3 for lap time and number 3 for top speed for the motorcycle class. It is the Body 801. Body 801 is a vehicle from day one of the game. It's like 10,000, maybe like 9,000, 8,000 even for a stock vehicle, and which engine upgrades probably like 250, 500,000. So the best time trial vehicle is a very cheap vehicle, I'd say, with the Body 801. I think it's definitely the best average with having a great lap time and top speed. Whereas other vehicles I went over will only accelerate for a lap time. Whereas other vehicles I mentioned that only like excel in like lap time or top speed, not both necessarily. So yeah, Body 801 is definitely the best general vehicle for any time trial, really. And then yeah, our estimated data time trial for the week is construction site 2. Well, I haven't done any time trial guides since like the first like 4 estimated data time trials. Well, I don't really do time trial guides anymore for the estimated data time trials. I've never really done guides for the regular ones, but for estimated data ones, I haven't really done them in like a year to 2. But yeah, I do have a guide for the first one, so I imagine the second one's somewhat similar in style for what you gotta do. But if you want some very up-to-date like time trials, I recommend like GTA Men if you want some time trial guides. I don't watch them myself, but I imagine GTA Men has some pretty good time trial guides for both regular and RC Bandito time trials. That's kind of all the advice with time trials. And yeah, no vehicle advice really, because there's only the one option. But yeah. Now I'll go over to the LS car meet, I suppose. Where I'll talk about the test track vehicles and then like the prize ride. And I'll go over like the discounts and money opportunities and stuff over there as well. I'll just return my ASP, I guess, to storage and maybe recall it over at the LS car meet. And yeah, I'll go over to Pfister Growler's like price and whatnot as well at the LS car meet. Alright, guess I'll go down kind of into this stuff. Alright, I'll just be over here for now, I guess. But yeah, the new vehicle, I'm pretty sure it's a legendary vehicle, definitely, but yeah. Pfister Growler is the other Pfister vehicle that was in release, and yeah. Unfortunately, with the performance, I don't necessarily expect it to be good. I'll go over the performance later again, but kind of I guess I'll do it kind of sooner actually. So I'll have to pull up roughly 1322 on YouTube because he isn't updating his spreadsheet at the moment. So it's kind of hard to go off the spreadsheet like I can with the other vehicles because they're recent releases for these vehicles and aren't on the spreadsheet right now for roughly 1322. So I have to go on his actual testing videos. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched them, so I kind of forgot where they are and whatnot. But yeah. As of the current moment, the Pfister Growler, when it comes to lap time, it's actually third place. So I think that means it's under the Calico GTF from day one, and then it's also underneath the Emperor Vector, which became the #1 lap time when it released. So for the tuners class for lap time, it's pretty good. However, for the sport class, it's nowhere near as good for the sport class, in my opinion. It's not a bad lap time for the sport class, but it's 15th place, and I feel once the vehicle is outside the top 10, it's not necessarily the most worth it, I'd say. So yeah, third place out of like all the different tuner vehicles that's been released so far. But I think there's just one more on this website, and then there's two more for the Sovereign website. So I think that's 14 vehicles released so far. So out of 14 tuner vehicles, third place for lap time, very good. Probably will remain pretty good, I would imagine, as well. Or pretty decent for the tuner class. But yeah, currently at 15th place for lap time in the sport class. Of course, that could change with a couple more sport vehicles needing to come out. But yeah, again, 15th place, a few placements underneath the top 10, I feel it kind of makes it irrelevant for the sport class at that point. And then I'll go into top speed as well here from roughly 152, obviously again. Right. Not Calico, but the Growler. Pfister Growler is also third place for top speed, so it's third place lap time and third place top speed, and that's for the actual tuner class, not the sport class. So between the new tuner vehicles, it's top 3 lap time and top speed, literally third place. So it's pretty average, I'd say, for the tuner class at the moment, so that's very good. Whether it will remain good or not with the next couple vehicle releases, we'll have to be seen later on, obviously. And then for top speed, it's 20th place for sport class, and that's the only class of like 80 to 90 vehicles. So yeah, 15th place and 20th place for sport class isn't too horrible for a lap time top speed, but still. But still, in my opinion, once the vehicle is out of top 10 for performance, it's kind of pointless. So just because it's out of top 10, I'd say, for lifetime top speed for sport class, it's not good for the sport class necessarily, just a tuner class, I'd say. And again, there still needs to be like 2 more vehicles released for the sport class. And then there's 3 more tuner vehicles, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's the Pfister Growler, and it's priced $1,020,250 with a trade price. If you want the actual price, I have a video going over. If you want the actual trade price, I mean, not trade price. If you want the full price, I do have a video that shows the full price, I believe, on my leak video, but there is spoilers of upcoming content as well, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's not as expensive as the Comet S2, so it's not necessarily better than the S2. I think this one placed 4th somewhere when it first came out. And since this is a bit dated now, it might kind of be pretty close to the S2 in performance, but yeah. Don't necessarily expect it to be better than S2 in a sense. But yeah, now I'll go over money opportunities, I suppose. I believe, by the way, the new mode is actually in death matches, which is really interesting. Alright, yes. Kart Crash Full Auto is apparently in death matches, which is really interesting. We haven't had a new death match in forever. But obviously, they're definitely not traditional style death matches. They're definitely not traditional death matches, no doubt. But yeah, they're definitely not traditional death matches. I imagine they're quite different from the traditional death match, but in terms of payout and whatnot, it probably works exactly the same as regular deathmatch and team deathmatch and whatnot. I imagine payouts for the death matches and team death matches should be similar in style to racing in the game, with regular races, stunt races, transform races, basically any race. I imagine the payouts are similar to any type of race in the game. So maybe like 16, 20,000 minimum, maybe, kind of, if you were to be in like first place and were to be in like a small match or something. But yeah, it's also interesting. My dry ass throat right now, damn it, that was swear. But yeah. Like with the traditional adversary mode, there's 7 maps, like the traditional adversary mode again. Something to note though is apparently the different maps have different like styles of deathmatch, so 1, 3, 5, and 6 are of regular deathmatches, whereas 2, 4, and 7 are team deathmatch apparently. So if you're more of a regular team deathmatch player, that will kind of be the maps you'll probably want to focus on in particular. But yeah, for money making, I imagine being in like a team would probably be more beneficial. So if you want money, maybe being in teams would be better, obviously, because you have a better chance of winning when you're in a team, in a sense. So yeah, if you want money, I guess the team would probably be better. But in terms of money making, I doubt this is one of the better money making opportunities, unfortunately. So even though it's a new mode and it does have the incentive to double money RP, it's not going to be the best way to make money, obviously, this week, or really, like, any time at all, obviously, when it comes to regular and double money opportunities. But yeah, I might place them later on, of course. Notice there seems to be like Sasquatches and stuff, so maybe not all of them use the carts, maybe some other ones use different vehicles and stuff. For all I know. And then I want to say the rest of the money opportunities are all kind of on the pause menu. I mean, I want to say all the rest of the money opportunities are not on the pause menu and are kind of like in the actual game. And would be hard to explain them without like showing them off, so I'll kind of just give a little summary of what I would think of them and whatnot. But yeah, I guess I'll talk about the export list. Export list, for those who aren't familiar, it's not the Simeon thing. It is not this, it's not where Simeon gives you the vehicle list, it's the other vehicle list, the newer vehicle list with the new update with Santos tuners. So in your auto shop, once you do your like first contract, I believe you unlock the ability to get like vehicles and whatnot. And the way it works is I imagine they're all through like random events and whatnot, kind of, so you can find them across the like map and whatnot. So you gotta deal with if the game wants to spawn vehicles and whatnot. And from what I hear, kind of the best way to get like random event things that kind of spawn is, I guess, if you're in like a jet or some like fast transport option, like a helicopter, jet, plane, whatever. So if you just go around the map and whatnot with like a pyro, which is like the fastest jet, or like some sort of really fast helicopter and whatnot, and that would probably be the best way to go about getting a bunch of vehicles from like exotic export list. But yeah, there's videos about it on like YouTube and stuff, obviously, if you want to know like the best ways to go about it. But apparently you can make like 4 million-ish if you were to do this for the entire event week. So definitely pretty good. Could kind of rival with Cayo Perico, so that's something. But still, definitely Cayo Perico would have to be the better option regardless. Even with all the different money opportunities, nothing really surpasses, is it? But still, Cayo Perico this time around might definitely have some decent competition. And then there's apparently 2 times money RP on the convenience store robberies. And those are only like a couple to few $1,000s normally, so wouldn't really bother with them even if doing a massive amount. But yeah, now to test drive the Sultan RS Classic. Sultan RS Classic will be the vehicle that will be coming in for the next event week. But yeah, the Sultan RS Classic, I don't think it originates from another GTA game. It's kind of just like a classic version of the regular Sultan RS. The regular Sultan RS we kind of already have from like 2016. That was like the Grand Theft Auto 4 version. I don't think this one originates from another GTA game. So essentially it's a two-door version of the Sultan Classic that we have from like the Diamond Casino Heist update. So that's what makes it RS, is I guess it's a two-door version of that.
Something you might be interested in. It's a special item on the Securo Serve network. More expensive than the normal stuff, but it'll more than pay for itself on sale. You want to take the risk? Come and make the deal on the Securo Serve network.
But yeah. But yeah, prize ride for this week, for the last couple days of the event week, it's place top 5 and 10 races. And that's either going to be the street races or the pursuit races. The cart crash full auto surely doesn't count for that. So those new race things from the deathmatch section don't count. It's gotta be a street or a pursuit race. And this challenge is definitely a very easy challenge, especially if you do the street races with the minimum players. You could even do pursuit races for a change of the minimum players or even 5 players. Like, as long as you're in, like, a lobby that's 5 or less, you're practically guaranteed to get a win every single time. So, definitely a very easy challenge this time around. And to go into the Dominator GTT for performance, I suppose. So I'll have to go on to roughly 1322's YouTube again, so I can go into the performance right now. So yeah, credit for the performance goes to roughly 1322. And I have to go into his like day 1 video, so it might change, and I know the ASP is better than the Dominator GTT. And yeah, being a muscle car, it's not going to be the greatest. Alright, I've gotta wait on a 15-second ad so I can go into performance for a lap time. Alright, Dominator GTT for a lap time for the muscle car class. It was a 6th place on day 1 of the game, though. Yeah. I'll have to think of the new vehicle releases. The Kama S2 definitely beat it for a lap time and top speed, I would imagine. Then I think it was the Dominator ASP, which is the other muscle car from the Tuners update. So if you want only one muscle car, then definitely don't go for the GTT if you only want one muscle car, because you might as well go for the ASP, obviously, if that becomes a prize right in the future, or just straight up buy it, obviously. The ASP is the number 1 muscle car for the lap time class. But yeah. It was below average, I'd say, for day 1 when it came to lap time for the muscle car, for the tuner class. Not with further drift feed vehicles, the numbers probably went further down, obviously. So, yeah, lap time, for lap time at least, it's not really going to be good anymore. And it's now 2nd place for the muscle car class for lap time, because the ASP is number 1 for the muscle car class, not to be confused with the tuner class. And now to go over top speed. Alright, top speed from day 1 for the GTT was 9th place, and that was from day 1 of the Tuners update. So clearly the top speed for the GTT is not that good if it was 9th place from day 1 of the update. But yeah. And then it's 14th for top speed for the muscle car class, but I think with the ASP it's now 15th place in terms of muscle car class top speed. So it's pretty good for the muscle car class for lap time, not to be confused with the tuner class. When it comes to like the 17 tuner vehicles between the 10 initially released and then all the drift feed vehicles once all of them are released. For the actual tuner class, it's for sure not going to be that great, but for muscle car races, it could be quite decent for lap time, which is most muscle car races. So don't get it for tuner, get it for muscle car, if anything. So it's an okay vehicle for sure for the prize ride. Maybe even one of the better prize rides so far, I'd say. Even with its faults of not being that great for the tuner class, it is very decent for muscle car class, as mentioned. And yeah, might as well go for it. You could literally do the whole entire challenge in one day, place top 5 in 10 races. street races you can literally do with a minimum of 2 players pretty much. For the street races and pursuit races you can do with 4 or 5 and pretty much be guaranteed every single time. So you can definitely have quite the fun with this challenge, no doubt. So if you want it all, definitely go for it. But again, it's not going to be too useful for the tuner class, only really the muscle car class. As well, the ASP came out right after it, and that's technically better in both lap time and top speed. So if you want just one muscle car, just go for the ASP between the new tuners. Don't go for the GTT if you want just one of the muscle cars for some reason. Again, as I was saying with the exotic export list, the 4.2 million or like 4 million I think I mentioned, that's if you were to do it like every single day. Obviously when I'm doing this live stream there's only a couple days left. But still, you could probably make, if you're starting to do the exotic exports for some reason today, then could definitely be very worth it, no doubt. Exotic exports is definitely quite nice to do if you don't want to do Cayo Perico for some reason. So there is definitely quite a decent money opportunity this week with exotic exports, no doubt. As long as you do it properly. As long as you know how to get them to like spawn well and whatnot. Now to see what else I kinda need to go over. And yeah. In terms of the Sultan RS Classic for performance, like the first impressions, I think it did some pretty decentish turns in terms of lap time and whatnot. But again, keep in mind the test track vehicles apparently are stock, they're not with engine upgrades. But yeah, I could see this compete with the Emperor Vector and even the Calico GTF. I think this vehicle definitely has quite the performance, especially like I said, it's a 2-door version of the Sultan Classic from the Diamond Casino Heist update, which I'll show that kind of for comparison. But yeah, for comparison, this is the 4-door Sultan Classic that we already have from the Diamond Casino Heist. But yeah. But in comparison, this is a 4-door version of the Sultan RS Classic we'll be receiving later on, obviously, and this is the 4-door version of it that was released for Diamond Casino Heist. Apparently this vehicle performs pretty decent for the sport class already, so having a 2-door version, I imagine a 2-door obviously would make sense to go faster, having less seating capacity and stuff. So I can literally see nothing but good things for the Sultan RS Classic. Even with like 12 sport class vehicles and just one update, I could definitely see pretty good performance coming on the Sultan RS Classic, so even if my first impressions aren't that great because I'm not the biggest car person or whatever, I see nothing but great potential for the Sultan RS Classics. I could definitely see it being one of the better investments actually for the tuner class and the sport class even in this entire update. So yeah, this vehicle most definitely has some great potential coming up. So definitely one to look out for, I'd say. I'm trying to make sure I covered everything aside for discounts right now. Aside for playing a new mode, I mean, but yeah. But if you're going to do convenience store robberies for some reason, but yeah, you could maybe make like 5,000 per store with double money, which could be like an easy 100,000 if you were to do all 20 stores. And obviously a good vehicle for doing all 20 stores would probably be the armored Kuruma, or even a regular Kuruma, since apparently they messed up the regular Kuruma. So armored Kuruma, or even the regular Kuruma, since they messed that vehicle up so badly apparently with this latest update where it's more bulletproof than the armored version. Using one of those two vehicles would probably be pretty good. So yeah, definitely one of the Kurumas, I'd say, for the convenience stores, especially since they somehow messed up the regular Kuruma apparently, where it's more bulletproof than the armored one. Right. I think I only have discounts left to cover, and then I should be good to play the mode, I think. And for the most part this time, every single discount's a vehicle discount, not much of a like property discount, aside for one of the vehicle discounts, which is also kind of a property. Which I guess I'll go over that one first, and that will be the Kosaka Submarine. But yeah. Apparently the Kosaka Submarine here is a 30% off discount. And Kosaka Submarine, I'm not going to go into too much details on it, reason being is I have a whole entire review and guide just on the Kosaka Submarine, and then also the Kraken Visa I think I did as well in the same review. But yeah, Kosaka is definitely one of the better investments in the game. But yeah, the Kosaka is definitely one of the best investments in the game right now, as in the last couple updates. Because Cayo Perico Heist, again, you need a submarine here in order to do the Cayo Perico Heist. Cayo Perico Heist, you can make easy $1 million in like an hour if you're good enough at the heist. You can literally take like literally just an hour doing like one heist if you're good enough. For like easy 1 to like 1.5 million average, I'd say. So if you want to like make a good collection of vehicles from this game, definitely, and all other kinds of things, definitely go for the Cayo Perico Heist with the Kosaka. For these days in GTA Online, definitely one of the best first investments you could make in the game, no doubt. But I'm not going to really go into too much detail with it again, because I do have a review and guide, but just for that one money opportunity alone, definitely one of the best investments in the doubt. And then I think the rest are traditional vehicle discounts that don't have a property attached to them. And the Moonpool vehicles do not seem to be on discount from what I'm seeing on the newswire. Okay. I think Southern Warstock and Elitist are the free discount websites, I think. Don't recall any Arena War or Benny ones on the list. But yeah, the Nagasaki Sea Sparrow, or maybe just the Sea Sparrow, I don't know if that's the manufacturer. But yeah, the Sea Sparrow, instead of being 1,815,000, it's 1,270,500. And I know this vehicle definitely does not have a trade price. I don't recall this having a trade price whatsoever. But yeah, it's not the regular Sparrow, it's the Sea Sparrow that's on discount. Which is kind of the worst version. It's not as good performance-wise, apparently. Which I'm not going to go over performance because it has weapons, so I'd rather talk about the weapon capabilities. But yeah. The regular Sparrow is the #1 lap time and top speed option, I'm pretty sure, for helicopters, so obviously this won't dethrone the regular Sparrow for performance. Obviously having these huge pontoons on it, you would expect it not to perform as good. But obviously the best advantage of it is being able to land on the water, where you cannot do that obviously with the regular Sparrow. And yeah, the Sea Sparrow, unlike the regular Sparrow, has to be stored in a hangar. Being released after the Spoilers Run update, which introduced customized aircrafts, it's not a Pegasus vehicle, so it's a hangar vehicle only. So you will need a hangar to get it, but obviously a hangar is very worth it for having customized aircrafts, which are some of the better, like, grinding vehicles in the game. But yeah, in some ways it's essentially the Sparrow, but it does some things better, obviously, water landings. I'd say it's definitely the best vehicle for use in amphibious missions. I think it's definitely the best amphibious mission vehicle in the game. The problem is, it's not that good at water landings though, so you have to be pretty careful to land in the water. So you may expect seeing these that you can kind of do some hard landings with it. But no, you can't do much of a hard landing where it's going to sink in the water, apparently. But yeah, just being a more capable Sparrow, I think, makes it so worth it. Very good discount to take advantage of if you can get the money for it, for sure. It even has more customizations. It even has slightly more customization than a regular Sparrow, so the customization's slightly better. But essentially a more functional Sparrow. And then the Dodo's not on discount, just glitched up at the moment. But I don't think there's any Legendary Motorsport discounts. Besides for the Prime Gaming discounts, the only ones that are on here will be Prime Gaming, which is continued. The BR8 and the Coquette Blackfin are continued discounts, they're not new. They're ones from previous weeks. But yeah, half off the BR8. That's actually technically the best open wheel vehicle, I'd say, in the game for sure. Because it's #1, #2, and #3 for lap time for the open wheel class, I remember. So you have another week apparently to get the BR8 on a 50% off Prime Gaming discount. And then I don't necessarily recall the Blackfin being that good. And apparently got rank 81 with the reputation. But yeah, this one I don't recall necessarily being all that great. You might as well just get the GTT from the prize ride, obviously, instead of going for the Coquette Blackfin for this particular event week. But yeah, onto Warstock for at least one more discount I know is on Warstock. Okay, there's 2 more discounts, it looks like, for Warstock. But yeah, starting off with the Torador. Torador is actually on a discount, which is quite interesting. And it's a 30% off discount, and it's from the previous update. I don't think it has a trade price, I think it's the stock price no matter what. But yeah, instead of almost 3.7 million, it's almost 2.6 million, so over a million in savings, something quite nice. It's one of the best new vehicles in the game. It's basically the Stromberg, which is a submarine vehicle. It can actually take but yeah. The Torador. It can take quite a few explosives, which is quite nice. It also has machine guns, which the machine guns aren't anything special, but it does have some of the better regular machine guns in the game, similar to the Stromberg again. It has unlimited missiles, which is pretty cool. It's one of the first like land vehicles in the game. I think it's the only one that's like the Ruiner 2000. That's a land vehicle that actually has unlimited missiles, which is actually pretty unique because it's the only like land vehicle you can use like permanently. I think that has unlimited missiles. The Ruiner 2000, obviously, it's a specialty version of the Ruiner 2000 that you can only use for like 20 minutes before having to wait like a whole hour to use it again. And it's limited to the mission and whatnot. So this is like the first land vehicle in the game with unlimited missiles that they added, so for that reason it's definitely one of the best investments, I'd say, for sure. It can even use rocket boosts in the water, not just on the land. And it can collect hidden caches, which can get you easy 75,000 or whatever every single day, I believe, which is a daily collectible. So Torador definitely has quite the uses. Very useful for money making, especially with unlimited missiles. Doesn't have the best tracking missiles, but it also doesn't have like the worst tracking missiles either. So yeah, has amazing offense, attack, defensive capabilities, all sorts of stuff for sure, and definitely a very great, definitely quite the vehicle you can utilize for sure. I could go on and on about some good stuff with this vehicle for sure. That's kind of gist of it, no doubt. And I think there's one more discount with the Night Shark, which is from Gun Running. Yeah, Night Shark. I think it only has the one price again. I don't think it has a trade price. So instead of like almost 1,250,000, it's 747,000. So almost $500,000 in savings here. You could literally get in a whole single Kyle Perico heist. You could literally do one Perico heist to get it right now, being under $1 million. So no reason not to go for it for only an hour of your time, I'd say. But yeah, the Night Shark. Night Shark again, since it has weapons, I won't be going over the performance. But yeah. For weapons, it only basically has machine guns, and I think proximity mines as well. Maybe proximity mines, I'm not entirely sure on the proximity mines, but if it has proximity mines, then that's pretty decent if it does have proximity mines, because it does have armor on it. Unlike other vehicles with proximity mines, which don't have armor. The machine guns on this vehicle, unlike the Torador, the machine guns on this vehicle, though, unlike the Torador, I don't think are good machine guns. I think they're some of the worst machine guns in the game with the Night Shark, though. So yeah, machine guns unfortunately aren't that great, but at least it has driver-controlled weapons unlike the Insurgent, and Insurgent like pickup and whatnot. And it's basically a faster Insurgent and whatnot, so it definitely has quite the utility for sure. Plus, as an added bonus, I think you can actually like attach a like anti-aircraft trailer on it if you wanted to use like an anti-aircraft trailer, for example. So if you have another player that has an anti-aircraft trailer, then that could be a very good combination of Night Shark and anti-aircraft trailer, compared to like the stock settler the anti-aircraft trailer comes with. But yeah, it's not gonna be... Unlike the Torador, the Sea Sparrow, and Kosaka, though, I don't think it's a good grinding vehicle. So it's not gonna make you too much money, unlike with the Sea Sparrow, the Kosaka, and then the Torador. It's definitely not that level of good, I'd say, but still definitely quite decent. And that should be it. Any discounts of a 0 aren't actually discounts, they're just glitched up at the moment. And yeah, Night Shark's a 40% off. And yeah, the Night Shark's a 40% off. Whereas the Sea Sparrow, the Torador, and the Kosaka are all 30% off. Alright. And then all the last vehicle discounts should all be on the Stubbornness Hand Reyes website. But yeah. The Karen Futo GTX. I'm not going to talk about the performance. I'm not going to talk about performance because it's actually a vehicle that was the prize ride last week. It was actually last week's prize ride, and I already went with the performance for it, and I don't feel like going on another video to see the performance, because it's not on the spreadsheet right now from Profit 1322, it's only on his YouTube right now. But yeah. But yeah, the lap time I think is pretty terrible. I think the lap time is one of the worst. I believe that's one of the worst lap times in the tuner class and the sport class. But I believe the top speed is pretty good, and top speed unfortunately is not a lot of races, it's mainly like highways and stuff, so not going to be a good vehicle for like street races and pursuit races, I'm pretty sure. From what I remember going over the performance last week. So yeah, it's not going to be good for a lot of the new like tuner content, the street races, pursuit races, because it lacks in lap time, but it's good in the top speed department. But yeah. If for some reason you didn't get it as the prize ride, which the prize ride challenge for it was absolutely ridiculous last week, then I would completely understand why you didn't get it for a prize ride, is because the challenge was so ridiculous the last week. But yeah. If you didn't do the prize ride, you now have a pretty decent opportunity to get it for under $1 million, at least if you have the trade price. So if you want one, definitely go for one now, no doubt. But with there being like 12 sport cars in the game, I don't think I want to get this one, quite frankly. But yeah, that's just going off of pure memory. As I mentioned, I don't think it's good for a lap time, just top speed. So basically not good for like the new street and pursuit races, I'd say. And then the BF Weevil. Okay, why don't I have the trade price for this? Oh, that's for Kind Music's requests, okay. So that's how you get the trade prices. That's how you get the trade prices if you do those like DJ missions for Kind Music. Which Kind Music's DJ missions are completely random. You get them through like text or by phone or something. So because of the complete randomness with them, I wouldn't bother going with the trade prices personally. Probably not all that worth doing unless you really like doing the DJ mission things for some reason. But yeah, BF Weevil's a 40% off discount. And I want to say it's a sport classic vehicle, I want to say for sure. Or a compact, one of those two maybe, or maybe even a sport car. Yeah, I don't know if I had my mic away from my mouth for like the whole stream here, but too bad, whatever. Hopefully I have been heard and whatnot. Trying to look for the Weevil here. Alright, doesn't seem to be a Sport Classic, actually. So is it a compact? Or is it a sport, or what? Alright, the Weevil is a compact. Alright, so for the compact class, the Weevil is 6th place for lap time, apparently, going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet. And top speed, the Weevil is 8th place for the compact class. Not to mention with the compact class, you're probably not going to be doing a lot of compact races. Who really does compact races? So, for that reason, the BF Club from the update before is actually the number 1 for lap time and top speed for the compact class, not counting the Izzy Arena, which has like nitro boost and whatnot, and like weapons and whatnot. So the BF Weevil is not a very good performing compact car, so for that reason I wouldn't bother with it. Like, yes, it's way cheaper than the BF Club, but for the performance you're getting, not really worth like 300, 400, 500-ish thousand. Plus, I think you can actually get one for free if you do all of kind of music's like missions as well, if I recall. But yeah, apparently the trade price is not that worth it, because I believe you do actually get a free BF Weevil when you do all of kind music's requests in the first place, so I don't exactly know how the trade price would necessarily be that worth it even. So I think you can literally get it for free by doing just all kind music's requests. So I wouldn't even buy this vehicle for that reason. And then the Dinka Vito Classic. BF Weevil was 40% off if I didn't specify, by the way. But yeah, I already got performance when I went over to Vito Modern, and it's basically the worst lap time of the whole entire sport class, or obviously it's the second worst in terms of top speed. So it's the worst for lap time and then second worst top speed for a sport class. So I wouldn't buy it for sure. Plus, this was a vehicle they gave for free. Literally like last Christmas time for like the Heist Challenge, they gave us the Dinka Vito Classic for free. So if you didn't get the vehicle for free, if you missed out on the opportunity to get it for free, I wouldn't actually like pay for it or anything. So there is a way to get this vehicle for free, and then this vehicle was free at a certain point. So I wouldn't bother with these 2 discounts at all. And the performance isn't really there for either of those anyways. Customizations, I'm sure, could be kind of nice, but aside from that, I wouldn't really say anything that good about these necessarily. But yeah, should be it for discounts here. Those aren't on discount, by the way, they're just glitched up. Same goes with those. Alright, yeah, that was it for discounts for the entire event week. I want to buy my thing of clothing here real quick, I suppose. I know it's not an outfit, because I have all the outfits still at a maximum rank of 1,000, obviously. And of course my battery starts to run low, and my chargers don't work good anymore for my PS4 for some reason. My 10-foot chargers, neither of them work good anymore, apparently. So hopefully my charger can last for the stream at least, because my chargers haven't been working good for the PS4. Alright, there it is. I guess this is the one I just got. But yeah, I'm gonna check the newswire one more time, make sure there's not any like livery unlocks or anything. Doesn't look like there's really a login reward or anything from what I recall. Alright, yeah, I don't see anything for like a login reward or like any like exclusive livery thing that can be unlocked. So yeah, I guess I'll start playing the new mode here. Again, it's in death matches, which I found quite interesting. So I'll start with the first map, maybe play the other maps if I want to, but if not, then I'll probably just end the stream. Alright, my controller's dying. Apparently, so gotta make sure it doesn't. Alright, if it's not fake charging again, it should be fine. Because again, my PS4 chargers aren't working good anymore, apparently. Oh, you can turn them into team stuff even though it shows like regular and team icons, apparently, and that's weird. I'll probably do 5 minutes. I guess I would do 3 lives. Just gotta make sure my thing's charging, because my PS4 chargers don't work good anymore. Okay, come on, is this mode already dead? Like, actually, no. This mode actually seems dead already, like, that's kinda sad. Okay, any time now would be great. I'm probably just gonna start one if one person joins, cause reason being is, from my experience, people seem to have a short attention span, and they tend to leave within like the first 30 seconds or less even. So maybe I'll be starting it right away. But I don't know, it would be kind of boring, just 1v1 and whatnot, kind of. Can be on certain other modes for sure. Bro, what's actually the point in rejecting an invite though? Like, it's wasted like 3 to 5 seconds, so actually, might as well just ignore it. I don't get people who reject invites, it makes like no sense. It's just a waste of time. Come on, game, you can do better than this. Bro, come on, game, like, actually. Alright, in time now, game, invite people will actually join. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna sustain partial, I'm pretty sure, because of the contract stuff I did last stream. So I doubt it's because of being in a, like, free lobby or something. So it's probably less popular, obviously. Come on, game. Fine, literally all the wrong people you are, aren't you, game? So if they can't have some invite system or something where it invites people to play these kinds of modes. That's like the main thing they do and whatnot. this mode might have literally already died, for all I know. Alright, finally, I'm just gonna start. I'm not waiting any longer. Screw that. Bro, actually they left. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if people just, like, don't join it because they're like, deathmatch, that's a dead mode. Like, people might see a deathmatch on there and assume it's like a super dead mode or something. I don't know. Woo, attempt number 2, I guess. Like, I really want to play one, I swear, but I like to be a host. I don't like to join other people's. Alright, I'm just gonna try with this one person, I guess, as well. And I'll probably see that they left or something. I don't know. I don't want to deal with people just leaving within a minute cooldown or something. Or a minute and a half if I extend, but yeah. Oh, you can't use custom ones, so there is finally a use for these go-karts. That's cool. There's actually a use for custom go-karts now, that's awesome. Not just straight up go-kart. But yeah, finally an actual use for these custom go-karts, not the go-kart races we were expecting in some, like, deathmatch mode, apparently, but still. I'm not gonna complain about deathmatch, though. It's been years since getting some kind of deathmatch. Oh yeah, definitely quite a different deathmatch, I imagine, but yeah, still. Amped? What's amped even? Oh, electricity amp. Okay, I get it now. Okay, I don't know what I did. I think that's a shunt boost? A bomb, okay. Okay, this definitely gives off some Mario Kart vibes, for sure. Yeah, you amped, boy. Oh! How did he get destroyed so easily? They had missiles. They didn't even hit me, boy. Okay, shunt is boost, right? Not like an actual shunt boost on like the arena vehicles, it looks like though. Oh, okay. Guessing going in the water just destroys the vehicle, obviously. They commit suicide, boy. I don't like him because I won. Can't would have liked any wins. I'll vote for it. Oh, okay. I was gonna say if they were gonna vote on any. Though I kinda meant to choose two the whole entire time. Alright, winner takes all, I guess. Okay. Skill matched. Okay, I hoping there's at least one more person that joins. Or two more so, since it's a team one at default. Oh, you can't change the ones that have team, that's lame. But you can change the ones that are solo to team or whatever. Like, it should be like that for the team ones where you can change from regular, not just regular to team. Like, that's annoying. Okay, somebody join kindly. Anybody? How would a team would work? I mean, I'm assuming two players would just be a regular deathmatch essentially. But what I mean about not being able to switch to team to regular, like you can't on a regular to team, is that's kind of boring if you want this huger like individual battles and whatnot in this one. Okay, whatever, man. For as long as they stay in, I'll stay in as well. Once they leave, that might just end the stream, because I don't necessarily care to play all these maps. Oh. Come on, character, do your emote. Wait, you can't do emotes on here? Come on. Doesn't seem you can do emotes here, because I would have done my cut fruit. Oh, bro, ready up, you fool. Okay, it left, whatever. Should have left earlier, but okay. I'm not gonna bother inviting people again and again. I've probably already seen like the big like gist of it anyways. And yep, I mean it's the same partial, which is surely more popular than free aim lobbies and free aim assisted since it's grouped in the same vein. I get that's late in my time zone, but still, there's literally 24 time zones. If someone somewhere in the world should be playing, people somewhere should be playing, and sure we are, obviously. They just know the mode's not worth bothering with, I'm guessing. I mean, it's a pretty fun mode, just one-on-one even, but I don't know. Can't get much of an impression when people don't want to join. I mean, it's pretty cool to finally see a deathmatch added to the game after years and years and years, though I'm surprised it's not just a traditional adversary mode. Because it reminds me of like Vehicle Vendetta, I think is similar to that. Vehicle Vendetta and then the like street versions of Vehicle Vendetta that are like on the road and not on stunt tracks or whatever. I think it's essentially like a reskinned Vehicle Vendetta, essentially. But with carts and whatnot, I'm kind of surprised I would classify as a deathmatch over like an adversary mode, but still. I mean, I'll take any sort of deathmatch after we haven't had one for years and whatnot, that's for sure, from Rockstar themselves. So I'll give it at least that's in a unique category of mode that we haven't had for years. And obviously it's like literally like a GTA Mario Kart kind of, which is so cool. Something I definitely wanted since the go-karts got released. I don't know why it took a whole DLC later, but still. Now if only we can get those actual proper go-kart races, then life would be complete, I suppose. But yeah, that will finally be it for the stream, I suppose, since I guess that was everything to cover, and nobody wants to play the new mode, I suppose. Hope you enjoyed. And of course, there's a question mark. Shows a question mark for my charger for some reason.